Hey guys, kinggath here, and welcome to episode 31 of my Fallout 4 Sim Settlements Forever Let's Play. You guys voted on my last episode based on whether we should side with the Forged or the Cultists, and you guys overwhelmingly chose the Forged, so that's who we stuck with. And we're going to head back to Starlight. We've got another quest to complete, and we're going to set up at some of our outposts some of these Forged plots so we can start building up our Forged army. But before we do all that, we are currently under attack at Starlight, so we're going to go exercise our China Lake. Oh, there's our guys. Alright, where's the fight? Here we go. Let's find out. And also... oh yeah, Gunner Scum. And... let's see how that does. Beautiful. Most of you dead. Oh, this thing's getting way OP. Whoa. I'm going to get so many China Lake rounds if I can survive this. Love it. Oh. Nerd Rage doing work. No. Alright, oh, there's still lots of them left. Oh, God. Sorry, Maul. Mutant Hounds. Whoa. Yes. Take him out, bear. Nice work, Maul. It was like your army of pets just came in there and wrecked them. Alright, guys. We're going to have to cut videos so I can just spend like 20 minutes looting here. I know I have the Battlefield Scavengers, and they'll do it for me, but I need myself some China Lake rounds and some shotgun shells. Okay, all looted up, and now we're going to go ahead and see if we can get this quest started. Should have one of our mini scenes playing here, and it looks like it's going to work. Yeah, here we go.
I have it on good authority their leader will be heading to the Saugus Ironworks soon. So we're pushing the plan forward.
Son of a fucking bitch! Boss, when we find this red fuck, our dibs gonna make this motherfucker bleed. We need to find this fucker in now, Leah. You got any ideas?
Actually, yeah, I do. You remember that thing we used at Minuteman HQ? I think I can modify it to suit our purposes.
How much time do you need?
Oh, give me a few hours?
Just don't take any longer than that, Leah. We gotta shut this down ASAP.
Come see me in a few hours. Shouldn't take any longer than that.
We got a traitor. Time to take him out. Alright, we're back with some Raybo's Mod Watch, and this week Raybo's got a couple of picks for us, and then I'm tossing one in myself that I didn't see on his list, but I'm sure it would have made it there eventually. And the first one that Raybo has pointed out is one that I think peeked into the hot files for just a minute, and that's Protected Unique Brahmin by author Nyx. And this one is something that I think a lot of you guys playing Conqueror will like, because it solves a problem that I've seen show up in the bug reports that I've never really considered a bug, and that's that all those named Brahmin, like those attached to the caravans, like Carla's or the Abernathy Farm Brahmin, end up randomly dying in the raids occasionally, and they just never come back. And this flags all those unique Brahmin as protected, so that way only you, the player, can kill them, and then if you accidentally do, it will respawn them later. So I personally love having animals in the settlements. It adds a lot of flavor, and so this protects those named ones, or at least the ones that are flagged as unique, from getting accidentally killed. Then next up, we've got a mod that I'm actually shocked this is the first time I've seen anything like this, and maybe it has existed in the past, but this is the first one I've played with, and I really love it, and that's Take and Equip by Dill Bill. This one adds alternate activations to most things in the game that you can pick up so that you can instantly use them. So for example, food or stim packs or drinks, you can just pick them up and consume them with one button push. Or the really, really cool part of this is being able to grab a weapon and immediately equip it, so you don't have to slow down the game by popping into your Pip-Boy. This especially seems awesome in the early game when you have kind of crappy weapons anyway, and you're just looking for upgrades where mid-combat you can see something on the ground, swipe it up real quick, and immediately start firing away. Really love that idea, and this mod makes that happen. So check out Take and Equip by Dill Bill. And then lastly, this isn't one from Raybo necessarily, but I want to give it a shout out, and that is the faction pack for the Railroad that was just released by Jug 1000. This one kind of slipped in. I don't think most people noticed it, and it might also have been because he put in there that it doesn't support assaults, but by default, all of the faction packs will support assaulting with them, so you can run assaults with the Railroad, unless he did something absolutely crazy that I'm not aware of. But go check out that Railroad faction pack, and if you're a fan of the Railroad and you want to see that built up and made more, just leave some comments on that mod and let the author know that you're very interested, so we can help Jug 1000, who this is his first mod, help him get the encouragement he needs to keep expanding on that, because that was one of the last major factions that hadn't had a faction pack, and now it does. All right, let's go check in with Ophelia.
Hey. So, here it is. Just aim it at your flunkies as you wander through HQ. It'll tell you when it finds any audio recording equipment.
Alright, so this thing I was really glad to get working because it's something I've been wanting to do for other things, is I've figured out a way to basically set up a weapon so I can use it like a scanning device, which seems like it might be useful for something else. Not sure what yet. I can't even remember what I had tried to make it work for before and couldn't, but I've since figured it out, and now we're going to look for a trader. Are you a trader? You look like a trader. How about you? Oh, yep. Never trust a guy floating in midair. Alright, let's go let Jammer know what's up, and we'll see if everything falls apart with the good old fantastic AI in this game. Hey, Jammer.
Excuse me.
You find that rat yet, boss?
Over there.
Starting out strong. Immediate pathing issues. This has actually always been a problem, and I might actually get rid of this chair on the Warplanner's desk because it causes so many problems for Jammer pathing. In fact, I think we're gonna just disable it now, just to let him go, and we'll re-enable it again after he moves. Okay, go ahead, bud. Go do your thing. Oh, well, now I can't re-enable the desk clutter. Oh well. All right, well, he's moving, so that'll work for now. Oh, don't tell me you're trying to steal my power armor. Had enough of that. Oh, good, I took the fusion core out.
Ow! Hey, what the fuck, Jammer?
Say it!
What the fuck? Say what?
I want to hear you tell me it was you who ratted us out to the fucking Minutemen!
I don't know what you're talking about. You're fucking high and paranoid again, Jammer.
What the fuck is this for then? You little rat fuck!
It's just for shit.
Yeah, shit.
Money was too good, Jammer.
You're a fucking dead man.
Oh, I did not expect this to actually play.
Jammer. He's dead, Jammer.
Yeah, just had to let the momentum wind down. Fucking deserved worse.
Justice served. There's other things to worry about now.
No shit.
Seriously, Jammer. We've got trouble coming.
Tell me something I don't know, Leah. Long as Aiden's alive and kicking, we'll always have trouble coming.
What kind of trouble?
I've been eavesdropping on their communications, and they're mobilizing for some kind of big project.
What kind of project?
I don't know exactly. They're speaking in code, so it's hard to make out, but it's big and encompasses several locations.
I can see Maul in the background
Keep it up,
start away.
Leah. Thanks for the heads up.
All right, so that kind of played out correctly. We actually, when we originally envisioned that scene, there was a lot more like hand-to-hand beatdown, and depending on where, when you play this, where your, yeah, we'll take it, Stimpack, where your trader lines up, there can be a few more animations play where Jammer kind of goes on the beatdown, but it was so unreliably sketchy thanks to the just all the random stuff that could get in the way, and the way the animation system works in this game. It's really unfortunate, but I was happy to see at least we got a few good shots to the face there before he pulled out his gun. Unfortunately, the gun looked like it just missed. Like the first shot he shot above his head. No idea what's going on there, but you know what? We'll take it. We got a completed quest. That's all I can ask for. Unfortunately, it did require us to use a couple of console commands to move Jammer around, but such is the life of making quests for this game. I've got plans to improve all of them over time. I know that's why we keep patching. We'll keep finding these little quirks and adding in little secret behind the scenes teleporters and things we can do to make sure that that plays out correctly for you guys. But anyway, so that's I think that's all of the live content right now that we're all caught up with. But we are still going to do, we want to set up some of the new Oracle of Flame building we have. So I believe that's recreational plot. So we'll go ahead and swap out something. Let's see what we got here. So we can start getting some forged in. And then we'll probably go to all of our outposts and start setting one of those up too so that they have a chance to do them. So which one can we give up here?
Now, look who needs a favor.
No, I'm good. Thank you. Let's see. Wall workshop. So this was just for happiness. I just want to make sure I don't get rid of any. Like the cemetery has a distinct benefit for our outpost. So we'll change out this guy. So we'll change you. Yep, destroy it. That's fine. I've given up on trying to get this thing up to the city to level 3 anyway, just because this area is kind of unstable. So we should be seeking Oracle of Flame. Here we go. Forged will occasionally be recruited into your gang. Beautiful. All right, we'll let that build. Let's see if this. Okay, cool. It reset, so that should pop up in a second. And we will be able to start getting some forged. And that should happen despite the fact that we're short on rations and equipment. Although I do actually aim to fix that at some point. Part of the way I was hoping to fix it was just to allow enough of my guys to die to make it a little easier. And that started to happen because we've definitely lost a lot of guys in some of the attacks that like when we had the gunner attack earlier. I definitely lost a few guys, but we'll keep weeding down. I am probably going to pick up attacks again soon, but I actually, for this particular episode, I want to go finish up and acquire our gun, Euclid Sea Finder. I think we're at the last leg. We can go do that. So then we'll have just a sick weapon to use when we go open up our next assault. But I want to stick around and let you guys check this out. Ooh, excuse me. This is one of the plot designs, one of the many plot designs by Euclid that he's done for Conqueror. Pretty much did 90% of the plot designs for Conqueror now with all the ones we've been adding in. And this is, he's getting real creative with some of these designs. So I just want to make sure you guys get a chance to see this. And there is a special design for the cult one too, for those of you who decide to side with the cultists. But yeah, there we go. So we've got some crazy fire stuff going on, and I think this thing just gets more and more absurd with each level, or it gets more fitting for the name, I guess. That it's just basically an altar for the forged to. And that's really cool looking. Love this thing. Great job, you. All right, cool. Let's go get the last thing wrapped up that we need for the Euclid Sea Finder. All right, we are down here by Poseidon Energy, which is where the last piece should be. Oh, we got some friends to kill. All right, we'll light them up indeed. I'm not gonna hide. Oh, whoa. Oh! Get him, dog meat. Ooh, shotgun shells. Yes, please. Nice. Nice work, dog meat. Oh, yes, stim pack. Oh, wait. I want to check out. I just maxed out my explosives perks, so I wanted to see how much more damage this thing was going to do. Where'd you guys go? I mean, I don't know how much more effective this thing can get. It's pretty disgusting. Did not get nearly enough rounds out of the gunners, though, for this. Alright, you're not going to let me in? Let's see, can I get the... Did that work? It did. All right, lucky bastard. Uh-oh, made someone angry. Whoa! Did not expect you to just immediately aggro. Oh, one of the things we got by side with the forge is we get to take Krem's Tooth, which is a nice upgrade to my melee weapon. Oh, wait, that's what we need right there. Here's our terminal.
No way I'm cracking this.
Oh, I need a higher level hacker. And I'm trying to remember if we gave, because usually when I set up stuff for the plot quests, I don't perk block them. I'm trying to think about if we have a way. Oh god, there's so many Mirelurks. Okay, there we go. Now I can think. I'm trying to remember. Oh, dog meat, where are you? Where are you, bud? Oh, I don't think so, Protectron. Oops. Oh god, that was not smart. Almost got myself with that grenade. Dog meat. Duck and cover, buddy. All right, so now I gotta remember if I put somewhere in here to. Also, I gotta find it again. Whoa, that's obnoxious. I gotta remember if I put somewhere down here the password for this thing, or if I actually do need to have expert hacking. Should be a bummer. I mean, small price to pay to get Euclid Sea Finder, but let's see if we'll search around a bit and see if I put something down here. I really don't remember.
Yes.
Read me. Nope, that's not from me. Open door. Is it in this one? God, I might have to go consult the cheat guide on our forums that other people put together to see if if there is indeed a way to get past this, because I really can't remember. It's just, it doesn't seem like something I would do, but well, either way, while I go and deal with this and figure it out, if I find a spot where there is a way to play, I will hit the video again. But if turns out that there's not, that is where you go to get. Let me bring up the thing so I can at least talk about that, and then we'll sort it out ourselves. But I want to show you guys the thing that we were here for and what you would expect to find if you're trying to do this yourself. So if you go to Q's material list, it should be the Poseidon uplink codes. Should be in that terminal that we just found. So I'm gonna go sort this out, and I'll pop back on if I figure it out. It's time for Mod of the Week. This week's mod, you probably never saw me play on camera because I mostly just got obsessed with it in between recording, and that is the Watts laser gun by Deadpool 2099, Haru and friends. This weapon mod is amazing. It fits so well into the game. The animations are gorgeous, and the sound effects are fantastic. I found one of these on a gunner body when I was doing looting, and then I just spent like 40 minutes running around killing things with it. Just had such a riot with, which is what a well-designed gun this is, and like I said, the sound effects really captured my imagination. Great weapon. It fits in so perfectly with the game, and is a throwback to old Fallout games, so I highly recommend you pick up the Watts laser gun. Okay, so I looked into it. Looks like I did not set up some alternate way to get access to this, so I just went ahead and unlocked it with the terminal. And I've added with the console, not the terminal. I've unlocked the terminal with the console, but I've added to my notes to address this in some future patches, Sim Settlements, to make sure that those of you guys who don't want to go the hacker route can still get access to this, because I hate forcing certain perks on you guys with the Sim Settlements content if I can avoid it. I prefer to have a few different options so you at least have some different ways to go about it. So we're going to go ahead and pop in here, and we're going to grab those uplink codes, and we're going to head back to Q and see if he's ready to make our little device. Alright, we're back at Sanctuary. Let's turn everything into Q and see. I think I have everything. I went and grabbed all the random little extra stuff like the glass and fusion cells.
Oh, wonderful. The prodigal son delivers. I'm going to need a few more days to assemble this.
Cool. Alright, so I think we're gonna go. I'm just gonna sleep this away. I really want to show this thing off because it was so fun to get working. Amazing model work by Schuberger. I gotta show you guys. So let's do some more of that camera magic. All right, it has been a couple of days of sleeping now. Let's see if this thing's ready. I don't remember if it's 3 or 4 days you gotta wait. It might be even longer. I'm pretty sure 3 though. That seems like a nice magic number.
Here you go.
Here you go. I'm not gonna mess around. Just here you go. Here we go. We got the Euclid Sea Finder.
I don't know what it's for, but I made it to specifications. Now, leave me be.
Leave me be. Okay. Oh, I know what it's for, and so does everybody else watching this. All right, let's get this bad boy out. And let's definitely... We need to hotkey this somewhere. I mean, we don't actually need to hotkey it because it's not like we're going to be using it all the time. But it is... it's a beautiful model done by Schubergler. And it is going to do exactly what you think it would. Now, I don't have anything that I need to target, so I think we're just going to fire it off for the sake of demonstration. And I'm actually going to do it close to the settlement because if you've already got this thing, you may have not noticed, but we actually like kind of went all out with this thing. We actually gave the tower has an animation and there's like sound effects. We just kind of went all out with this thing because it was meant to be like the your final prize after all the work that is Industrial Revolution. So we'll just go ahead and fire it off over here. I wish we had, oh perfect, there's a little dog over there and a rad stag. We can probably get one of them. Let's see. We'll stealth so they don't see us. Uh-oh. Frame rate just tanked. Oh, there we go. There we go. She lights up. Beautiful. Love it. So now we can use this thing once a day, and I think assaults are going to be the perfect time to use that. Thanks to everybody who came together to make this thing happen. This was this model and the animation of the lasers firing together that was done by Ep31. This weapon model done by Schubergler, and then all sorts of people were involved in Industrial Revolution content in general to get it to this point. So there you go. So now if you haven't watched all 31 prior episodes and didn't catch how to make this thing, there are cheat, I guess cheats isn't the word, not really a guide either, but there are all of the steps you would need are documented on our forums, and they should be stickied somewhere on there. I unfortunately don't have that. I'll try and remember to add a link to the description here for those of you who, again, don't want to have to go back and watch through all the episodes, but if you've been following along the entire series, you've now seen exactly what you got to do to get Euclid Sea Finder. And I didn't check if we actually hit something over there, if we got a corpse or not, but it has a pretty big kill radius and is pretty much an instant kill for anything it touches. All right, so now I guess while we're here, we'll go ahead and do some more building, and I'll show you guys what I did over in the front entrance. Endorsement time! It's that weekly reminder. Go endorse those mods. If you're using Vortex, just pull down this little status enabled, change endorsed to undecided, and you'll get a list where you can just quickly click these thumbs up. Now, I tend to only thumbs up the ones that I've actually had a chance to play with, and I'm still haven't seen a lot of these mods, or a bunch of them are my own, and they don't let me thumbs up my own mods. But when you get a chance, pop in, hit those thumbs up. If you really love a mod, right-click it and go to Open on Nexus Mods and leave a comment. You would be surprised how much impact that will have on encouraging authors to just keep expanding on mods you love. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is do a little nighttime tour. This is always one of my favorite parts about settlement design, is coming up with all the lighting and everything. I haven't really done a ton of lighting, but I wanted to come at the settlement at night because of this sign. Love this sign. Another little treasure designed by Ep31. He did I think pretty much all of the signs, or at least probably 95% of the signs that we have custom made for the ROTC settlements. And of course I put that up there. Love that thing. And I added a couple of lanterns on either side. So I didn't get quite as extravagant along this bridge as I originally envisioned, mostly due to lack of time. But I kind of like the not covering up things, because originally my thought was to do some sort of banners or something along the sides, but then you can't kind of look at the city as you walk in, and I like looking at this thing. It looks pretty ridiculous with how much stuff we've crammed into here. But all I really did, I think, outside of what maybe you guys saw from the last episode, I added this secondary sign, and I might have even done that on camera, but I replaced a couple of the turrets. I put a spotlight up here, kind of like that. It was getting a little too intimidating with all the turrets that were here, so I kind of moved them around. I think I stuck one over there and another one out back just because I needed all of those turrets for the defense. I secured all of our banners over here, so all of our banners now have little things they're hooked on to, little antennas or extra posts, or I think at one point I took a tree and just nudged it just a little bit so that it could attach to that. But now we've got our nice little commercial district here, and oh, looks like our furniture store upgraded, so that's awesome. And yeah, we got our nice little commercial district you walk into. I think I did decide I want to have like some sort of caravan hitching post here. And I know there's that official one that you can get, but you have to do the stuff in Bunker Hill. So I'll plan on adding that again after I have done the appropriate quests for that. And then we come on through here and we can start checking out the rest of this way. But even without adding any like accent lighting, which I still want to do because I think lighting is one of the cooler parts of making a settlement look really awesome. Even without it, it looks pretty bright and well lit thanks to, well, first of all, I'm not playing with Darker Nights, but also just all of the different commercial plots here because they've got the lights built onto the plot posts themselves, and then most of the buildings are pretty well lit up. And we're mostly at level 3 here. I don't know if we've got anything that's not at level 3 anymore. And we come back here. Our little farm area is a little darker, which makes sense. And this is all lit up like a Christmas tree over here, although this guy needs a refresh because it looks like these light bulbs are turned off. If you ever find this in some settlements that some of your lighting doesn't seem to be kicking on, just kick the plot a little refresh and it should reset all of the light switches and everything and make sure that everything's lit up that's supposed to be. So these I think are supposed to be bright white, but it's possible I'm incorrect on that. It does take a minute or two to do a refresh, unfortunately. It's one of those just deep code issues that I just have not had an opportunity to resolve, and I don't know how realistic it would be to resolve because refresh is meant to be kind of a catch-all for all potential problems, which means it has to do just a whole lot of random checks because the deeper we've gone with Sim Settlements and features, the more things there are for refresh to have to be in charge of fixing, unfortunately. So, all right, we'll let that thing run. That should fix those light bulbs there. We've got so many people. Look at this mountain of people. We're starting to get into good old navigation issues where nobody wants to go do what they're supposed to. And that's what you get for cramming 51 settlers into a place. It's actually, it's kind of hit or miss. Sometimes I come back and everybody's working their jobs. Other times they are doing this nonsense. So looks like now we've got one of those times. Did this thing finish? It's still going. I've also run into a couple points where a plot had upgraded and it was missing a lot of its parts. I had to refresh it manually. So again, we've talked about in previous episodes that we've got probably some issues of script backup because there's just so much stuff going on in this settlement. Though one of the things with some settlements is that once you get it to a point where all of your stuff in a settlement is leveled up, there's not a whole lot of code that actually needs to run, except for a few things like randomization of clutter, and you can actually disable that in the performance settings, and that's something I might actually have to do because we're getting to that point. And there's really no reason for me to need all that. It's not like I'm poking my head in every building anymore to notice any type of clutter randomization, re-randomization, I should say, anyway. And yeah, so we've got our little industrial zone. I ended up not separating it off, and I'm not sure if I will. The reason I didn't, and I might do something like separate it off right here. Maybe that's what we'll do now. But one of the things I noticed I actually loved when I was coming over to Q earlier is that there's all these little back alleys and stuff you can kind of navigate through the settlement, and that's nice. It's nice to be able to find your way through instead of having to constantly go around walls and whatnot. That's one of my favorite parts about settlement designs, especially when the ROTC team was doing them, is I always would give them a walkthrough and see if they felt like there were interesting little areas you could explore, and you could kind of get lost in the settlement. I really love that feel. So I think a thing I want to do here, and this is going to be difficult with the regression, and it might be that I leave these here until I'm ready to export or do them for an early level, or we'll play around with some of that loading earlier levels of the settlement to earlier save files from this playthrough, since I've basically kept all of my save files. But I think what I want to do, what makes more sense than having that massive pile of generators, is actually build myself another advanced industrial plot and turn it into a second nuclear reactor. And the reason I think I can do that is because I cannot find I can't figure out which settler it is that was assigned to this recreational plot that I blew up. So I have a 51st settler here, and I've tried using ASAM vision and everything I could think of to try and track down where the settlers. It's just not really feasible. I mean, this is one of those things with that many settlers. It's just pretty hard to figure out who's who. So if I just build another advanced industrial plot, it'll get worked since we got this 51st person, and then I can eventually grow that into a nuclear reactor, and that will handle all of our power needs, and I can kill all those generators. So that way, our super final level settlement will be nice and high tech. But I think that's a nice little walkthrough. So we are going to do a little bit of building, but I think I'm going to sleep and get the daylight for that. Okay, so we're in workshop mode. There's all sorts of random stuff I want to do. I started building up this security fencing wall. Still not sure how I feel about that. Like, I do want something to put a sense of separation, but it kind of has a sense of separation just in the sense that these buildings are facing this way, and that kind of makes it so I think what might make more sense than doing something as blatant as the security wall where that's just kind of forced is instead if I set up some sort of like fake checkpoint here, I think might make more sense. In fact, out front I had to remove one of the barriers that I wanted because it was causing pathing issues, and so I got rid of it. So I'm thinking that maybe it will just make more sense to just kind of give the impression that there's separation here as opposed to like actually giving it giving separation there. I'm not sure how I feel about this, but the problem I had with the security fencing is that we can't guarantee that this particular building will be here for players, and so if I were to use that as kind of the barrier and just do a partial wall, it wouldn't really work because I do want to keep little back entrances like this. It's nice to be able to path around the settlement like that. So this does, like I said, this does kind of have a natural feel to it, but then this becomes so open. In this doghouse, you got to go. We got to get you got to go hang out over here. Maybe you can go out front of our house because we're not sure what we're going to do with this space yet. Yeah, that'll work there. So, I kind of like this thing. I don't know what this is for, but kind of dig it. So we'll see. And I'm pretty sure we set this up so that it can be pathed through. And I'll do some off-camera testing of that with dog meat. Let's see here. Back up. Oh, it's a sky bridge. That makes sense. All right, we'll scale this guy up. Let's see. Is my... There we go. Key working. Love the scale keys with PE. Alright, let's back this up a little bit. Kind of want to be able to see it from walking on the ground here. And is that floating? Yeah, a little bit. Alright, well, we'll solve that with some scale. Alright. And then we need something for this not to just be hanging here. What else comes in this kit? Oh, cool. We got the other rest of it. All right, let's see. I think I hit it like 4 times. 1, 2, 3. We'll try 3 to start. Yeah, I think 4 was the magic number. Oh, I don't know what I just grabbed there. It's not the correct thing, though. Oh, this feels like one of those things I could spend hours trying to get perfect. Gonna get one more attempt, and then I think we're going to the old... close enough method, or I'll do it off camera if I can't. Yeah, we're gonna do that off camera. I'll go ahead and fix that. But okay, I kind of like that. It's not too in your face with it. Does give a little sense of separation. What else do they got in this little kit here? Yeah, I don't need the gate there. So we're kind of walking through to that. All right, so we've got that thing. So now I can add back my little checkpoint thing if I can find it. That's going to be the challenge. Let's see. Defense, maybe? Guard post, no. Decorations. It's a bummer I scrapped it instead of just storing it or moving it aside. I guess storing it wouldn't have mattered. It still makes it hard to find stuff like that. But I think you guys know what I'm talking about. I had there was this red armbar type thing. I stumbled upon it once upon a time when we were playing around and really loved that thing, and I stuck it over in the front and then ended up getting rid of it. All right, well, we're gonna find that. It's kind of like a little checkpoint bar. I'll set that back a little ways. All right, so if we assume I do that, I'm gonna set up I'm gonna go, and in fact we just had it, the defense section. There's the guard posts, and these are actually static versions, so these are not assignable. These are just great for decoration, so that'll be perfect because we're not actually going to have somebody manning this, but we'll kind of give the illusion that somebody is somebody cares enough to check that you belong here. And actually, I kind of want now the checkpoint building model from Sim Settlements, because it's got like a little roof over that and makes this thing look a little more intimidating. We can kind of build that ourselves. So let's go into structures, wood, and then supports. And then there should be like a little column we can use. Yeah, this guy. There we go. Give it a couple of top pieces. And then do we use some plywood? No, that doesn't look right. Hey, here we go. Let's see. We'll do something like, I can line it up correctly. Something like that. And that's going to need a back on it. We'll fix that in a second. All right, what does this need? Line this up right. Oh, what am I stuck on? Oh, I think I had it right the first time and I just made it all awful. Alright, there we go. And then I want to put on, there's these, what are they called? Structures, wood, cinder walls? I don't think so. I used them throughout my junk fence and now I can't think of what they're called. Maybe they are under fences though. Are they here? No. Kind of stuff like this, but they're just like little small. Here they are, barricades. That's what I'm looking for. All right, so we'll do. Something to connect over here. Yeah, there we go. I like that piece. Line this up. That looks decent enough. Alright, so then we just need some supports for the backside of this thing. And then we're kind of funneling people through this direction. That looks legit. At least legit in the terms of our little junky structures we like to follow. Let's go back to wood again. And supports. I don't want to use that exact same beam again. What can we use? Maybe a double thing here. Scale you up a bit. Oh, that didn't work out well. Scaled that way too high. I think I could scale this down a bit. And a little taller. I guess I did need it that high. Alright, and then I want one more little guy here. We'll do... Really love these pieces. I think I probably overuse them. You guys probably haven't seen me doing them on camera yet, but I use these way too much in my designs because I think they look awesome. So we'll go ahead and we'll actually shrink this guy down. We'll start it out here. We'll shrink you down a bit. Oops, that was a scale up. Oh, no. There we go. Alright, let's line that up a little better. Oh, that's not bad. Kind of like what they look like when they're, one of them are jutting out though. There we go. That looks structurally integral. Is that a phrase, or am I making that up? It looks decent. Looks like it would hold up. I guess we can give whoever would be here a chair, and actually that might attract some random settlers to just wander over here and make it look like they're working it. So I kind of dig that. Let's give you. Let's set up one of these, and we'll actually turn on snap so that the pathing can get there. I don't know if they'll walk onto that, but I assume they'll handle being right around here. So we'll do that there. All right, so we got ourselves a nice little checkpoint here. Going into the industrial district. I'll find that arm that I want right there. So that's one thing I wanted to do. Another thing I talked about, which I really love the idea of, especially if I can get the AI to actually path on it, which I'm not confident in that, is I love the idea of having walkways that go kind of connect all these roofs. Kind of like we've got some sort of security going on. My problem with it is then that makes this feel kind of like a prison. Is that might be, you'd have guys overlooking. So maybe I won't go that route. But that looks kind of nice there. So another thing I do want to do is spruce up my house, but I'm not ready to do that today. But I'm going to start clearing out some of the cheat items. So for example, we're going to go in here and we're going to get rid of this arcade because this is super cheaty, and for those of you guys without the Creation Club content, that's not going to be particularly useful anyway. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to take out a handful of these, and I'm just going to store them. And I'm going to see what the effect on happiness is, because I don't want to have my happiness just completely tank. I mean, it doesn't really matter at this point unless we're going to build the nuclear reactor, in which case we need to get up to 80. So I guess we'll store all of these. And we'll store I won't store those because that's going to be, I guess I can, because the wire's already gone anyway. I was going to say I don't want to have to rerun those, but it looks like I'd have to anyway. So let's store all that. And I'll come back and fix that. I'll do a sleep off camera and see if happiness starts to tank. Let's go ahead and build that other advanced industrial plot. We're going to go ahead and assume that I'm never going to be able to find that other settler. So where would I want? Because I think what I'd end up doing is replacing the coal power plant. But I can't do it right now, because if I replace the coal power plant right now, I doubt we have enough power. I could be wrong, though. We have a crazy amount of power. And I love that smog. So maybe I keep it anyway, and we just have the nuclear as well. So let's see where we might put that. I guess I could squeeze it in where we knocked out that other plot. Where else would be a nice spot to fit in another nuclear reactor? Or I could put it kind of out in front of this here and bury that behind there. None of those things seem good. We've got just such a nice layout here. I don't want to screw it up. I thought for a second there about scrapping that car, but I like that car there. I love leaving as much of the junk as possible in place. It just feels right to me. That's not a great spot. It's a shame, though. Like I know a lot of people talk about the hedges, how annoying it is that those aren't scrappable naturally. And actually, we can get rid of all this security fencing while we're over here. And this turret is in a terrible spot, so we'll pick that up while we're over here. Where are we gonna put you? Maybe we'll put it up on top of the wall or something. I know what we'll do. We'll build you a little turret stand. I think there's one of those under wood supports. Yep, beautiful. Perfect. Okay. All right, so I'm not finding anywhere I love to stick one, so I think right here is going to be it, just because it's the correct size and it doesn't mess with our layout at all. So we'll go ahead and do that. Let's see if we can get you to... I don't know if I want to snap it in, though. Actually, in fact, I think we're going to sink it into the ground a bit. Not too much, but... That doesn't seem bad. Wire you up. There we go. And then we're going to need some stairs for this guy, most likely. Well, maybe not. They can probably path right onto here. But let's at least select the correct building plan to start. Assuming all of this script lag doesn't take us out here. Oh, how bad is that clipping? Can you see it from inside? If you can't see it from inside, I'll call it good enough. All right, while we're waiting for all these scripts to load, let's go check. Well, it's not. I'm not immediately seeing it, so it's okay enough for me to get over it if it is clipping. There's our ASAM sensor. So let's choose building plan. So we need to go down the metal tree, or no, the God, it's been so long. Oh, you know what? It doesn't actually matter. We can do this. Uh-oh, what happened there? I forgot we can do the pre-plan. So since we've already got it unlocked, we can go to manage upgrades, pre-select upgrade path, and we can choose directly to the one we want. And then Sim Settlements will sort out all the rest of it. It'll pick the correct building plan and make sure it upgrades down a path that we need it to. So we want to go nuclear power plant. Build you. And this should change out the building plan to something that works. Don't make me a liar, Sim Settlements. Well, that's definitely not correct. That looks like one of the junk tier plots. Let's see what this says. Look at plaque. Scrapyard. That's not correct. Okay, there it goes. Now it's doing something. Let's see what it changes to. Or if it changes. Or if it just decided to ignore me. Okay, something definitely changed. But that does not look like any of the ROT or the Industrial Revolution plans, though. That looks like somebody else's plan. The e-waste burner. It's also possible that PRA integrated with the tech tree. I don't think so, because the only person I know of that for certain that's done that is Ruined World. But let's go ahead and try this one more time and see what happens. Pre-select upgrade path. Any day now. There we go. Alright, see what happens here. That's a nice looking little building plan. Alright, well, I don't know what's going on with that plot. I'm tired of waiting for it, so I'll come check on that after the scripts are all caught up. And we're going to get that. We're going to start our little power plant over there. Okay, so if we're not going to do my rooftop prison thing, which I'm pretty sure we're not going to now. Okay, and I did figure out that for Workshop Plus, for whatever reason, I have to go in and out of Workshop mode twice a lot of times to get the flight to kick in. Not really sure what's going on with that. So the other spot we can come in here and clean up. And I'll do a little bit. The house, I'm still not sure exactly what I'm doing, but I don't need my little potted plant zone here. My side gig as a gardener, that was means to an end. We're gonna clean all this up. And then after we store all these and the arcade, we can get a feel for what our happiness is actually going to settle at, because it's actually still on the rise. So there's still some room for me to take out potentially maybe another recreational plot. Although again, because I can't track down settlers anymore to figure out who's working what easily, I bet I could use PRA's ASM maintenance software to sort it out. I think that's what most folks use that for, is to really get in when they want to get really detailed with figuring out what the heck is going on. I might be able to use that to figure out who it is. But I'm definitely going to come back in and detail out a nice player home. We still want to do some lighting of this place at night. I think we're not going to do the rooftop things. So we've got a nice little checkpoint here. So I think we're actually shaping up pretty quick here. We might actually get to the regression sooner than I thought. I wouldn't say that I'm dragging it out in the sense that I'm like delaying it or anything, but it's one of those things, as soon as you start the regression, it's really hard to then go back and add more detail if you change your mind later without it causing like weird little hiccups in the city upgrade levels, where just some things, maybe if you change your mind, they get left behind or it doesn't upgrade naturally. So I really like to make sure my final level is locked down into exactly what I want it to be before I start the regression. So that's why I might seem like I'm dragging my feet, not committing to anything. It's just because I know once I get started, it's hard to change my mind. But all right, I think you guys know I've got a lot of random plans for this, and hopefully I will, between this episode and next, I'll have time to get in there and do some building off camera and show you guys some progress rather than just talking about it.